Well, hello, everybody. Happy Monday, which, by the way, it is the very first official day of fall. It doesn't feel like it, but it actually is. I want to welcome you in this evening. A couple of things here that I'm going to discuss here this evening here with a little news update for everybody that is watching. Again, I don't know how much more I can go to tell you of what's going on, but the big story out of Oconee County, of course, is charges were upgraded against a former South Carolina state trooper and his wife in connection with the death of the 4-year-old boy. And according to the jail records, Joshua Latimer and Destiny Diane are now charged with homicide by child abuse. The pair had been arrested Friday, of course, with unlawful neglect of a child. Oconee County Coroner Carl Addis identified the victim as Isaiah Joseph Dion. Addis said first responders were called Friday morning to the home on the Forest Acre Circle in Walhalla for a child in cardiac arrest. And based on the scene, the death was considered suspicious. And then SLED was called in, and also the Oconee County Sheriff's Office. An autopsy was performed today. And the full results have not been released, but Addis has ruled the child's manner of the death as homicide. Additional test results are pending. And that's according to Carl Addis in a press release that was released a little bit later. Most of the comments, of course, some of them I can't air here, but it's really heartbreaking. It's really sad. It's really heartbreaking. But there's one other comment, or there's one other thing that I really want to share with you this evening. And this is a wake-up call to everybody in Oconee County. And if you'll remember, just a couple of weeks ago, we went through this developer issue thing with the city of Seneca, and a developer that was going to come on and build over 1,000-something homes with townhomes and everything. But Matt Durham, chairman of the Oconee County Council, sent out some information that I find quite alarming. And I'm going to stand in agreement with him on this. And if you read what I've posted, it's on my page. That letter that was written to County Administrator Amanda Brock, that's just almost like a Deckham threat. So he's wanting to build, this developer is wanting to build a little over 5,200 homes here in Oconee County, crammed into 600 acres. 5,000, let this sink in for a second. 5,200 homes, okay? I want you to think about this. If you just put two people in 5,200 homes, that's a little over 10,000 people. That is a city within a city. Matter of fact, that would even be larger than the population within the incorporated city limits of the city of Seneca. 5,200. On top of that, now, let's think about this for a second. This property, you only have two ways to get to it. Old Clemson Highway and 130. That's it. That's all you got. 130, there at the dam, and then you've got Old Clemson Highway. But 5,200 homes. It's a city within a city. But instead of respecting our ordinances that we already have in place, to put it bluntly, you're going to drop this city again. We can't already handle the current traffic. The road, schools, utility, emergency services, none of it's built to support a project of this magnitude. Now, here's where things get interesting. Ordinance 24-18 was passed to protect the county's infrastructure, the character, and the taxpayers from exactly this kind of reckless sprawl. But instead of respecting that, East Shore South sent the letter, okay? A letter dripping with arrogance and veiled threats. They claim density limits and lot sizes are unreasonable. They argue their property is unique and they shouldn't have to follow the same rules as every other landowner. Well, here comes the kicker. They tried to remind County Council that the land is a federal opportunity zone in a textile revitalization area. Translation, they want to cash in on tax breaks and subsidies that you would pay for while ignoring the impacts on the locals. They even went as far as to suggest if Oconee doesn't bend, they'll sell the land to outside developers, or they'll pursue annexation, or guess what? They'll wage a media war against the county. In plain English, do what they want or else. That's not a partnership, that's extortion with a letterhead. And that's why tonight, I 100% agree with Councilman Matt Durham. Oconee must stand firm. If you cave now, as I have said before, with what happened with Seneca, it was going to happen again. I just was not expecting it to happen 4 weeks later after we just got through with one development coming in and try to do the same identical thing. The character of Oconee, the very thing that draws families and retirees and everybody here, will be bulldozered under subdivision, stacked on top of subdivision. Again, I want you to think 5,200 homes, 2 people per the home, a little over 10,000 people. It's a city within a city. And for the folks that grew up here, you know all about Neary, the renovation of the mill. You've got all of that down there. You still got one road in Neary, one road out of Neary. But you think about this, 5,200 homes in this 600 acres. Matter of fact, give me just a moment, and I'm going to pull up some other information so that you actually can see what I'm talking about here. Give me just a second. Let me get on my Facebook page. I want to share this with you. I want you to see what this developer, I actually want you to read it and see for yourself. And it may be hard for you to see. I'm going to share this from Matt Durham's Oconee County Council District 2 page. So give me just a second. And let me see if I can pull this up here. Extra camera, presentations. Hold on. Share screen. Give me just a second here. I'm working on it right now. Here we go. We're going to share the screen here, and let's see if that worked. Okay. All right. I'm going to magnify this right here because I do want you to see this, and I'm not sure you can see it, but I will go ahead and read it so that you know that what was said here. And this is the letter that was sent to Amanda Brock County Administrator. And it goes on, of course, they talk about, I have received and reviewed the correspondence you sent on behalf of Oconee County Council. In your letter, you wrote that Oconee County Council has carefully and diligently considered our Neary Mill proposal, but those no exceptions or exemptions will be granted related to density and minimum lots sizes as outlined by Ordinance 2418, which you attached. Okay, so already, here it is. We're deeply disappointed with the directive you have received from Council, and we're surprised that the criteria as fundamental as densities and lot sizes restrictions should not have been raised earlier in our discussion of the project. So we're going to go on and move. Our plan to create a dynamic mixed-use project and to improve the corridor, the Old Clemson Highway and Neary is truly visionary and should also be embraced. Our partners would like to continue to work with you in Council. We will remain committed to develop the project. So let me go on to the next page. Here's where it gets real interesting. Here's where it gets good. This right here is what makes me so damn mad about developers. Right here, this one here. We request a meeting with you and other members of Oconee County of the Council to discuss these issues. The proposal we submit is our preferred plan. Here it comes. Listen up. However, without quick and mutual agreement with Council, so you're already throwing it back, we will need to pivot to other options, including the sale of the property to large outside developers. Did you hear what I just said? Property to large outside developers, annexation options, and other legal and political responses. So you're already threatening the county. You're already threatening them with legal action. You're already political responses. Also, the magnitude of our proposed project has already attracted considerable attention from the media and the public. Well, I can assure you from the public, there's going to be some damn people to be pissed off. I can assure you, you will be pissed off. And I hope that the next council meeting, you probably need to go to Oconee County and tell them how you really feel. I'm telling you, you need to line it up and go ahead and get online. If this developer wants to ramrod this, the public's going to know about it because the public's going to get pissed. Attention from media and the public. Well, the public don't want it. How many of out there actually want this? Do you want the 5,200 homes? I want homes that everybody can afford to live in. People need homes. But 5,200, just like this same problem down here, down the street in Seneca, identical, same thing. So also the magnitude of, here we go. I'm going to finish up here, and I know you can't see it, but I'll read it for you. Also, the magnitude of our proposed project has already attracted considerable attention from the media and the public. If we're forced to abandon our proposed plan and pivot to other options for this parcel, we will also have to engage in a robust media campaign to appropriately explain the change in direction, given the reputational risk of a media campaign and the high expenses to each of us pursuing alternative options. We should all work together. Jeez! What a threat. What a threat. Now, let me show you something else. This is going to blow your mind. The gentleman's name is Mark S. Hart, East Shore South LLC. Not related to Glenn. Okay? This is the property in question. If you can see it on your screen, I know that if you're watching on a mobile device, it's kind of hard for you to see, but hopefully you can. So this is the property that they're referring to. It's a little over 600 acres. And it's, for the most part, around Neary. On the other side, you can see the 130, and there's the dike. So all of this right in here is the property that they're referring to, okay? So it's 609 acres, valued at a little over $11 million. But here is the developer, ladies and gentlemen. Director of Business and Chief Financial Officer of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, this is the guy. Oh, yeah. East Shore South LLC. There it is. So what does that mean? Are we going to get an NFL football stadium at Neary? You know, the Mudcats have been wanting to have a big old stadium for years. Bubba will be pleased with this. So like I said, this is what's happening right now before us. And I'm going to have to agree and stand with Matt. This is not partnership. This is an extortion with a letterhead, period. Is exactly what this is. What you just seen is extortion. So we agree, this time we agree with Councilman Matt Durham. Oconee must stand firm, and if we cave now, every developer will line up demanding their own special carve-outs. And that means our ordinances will mean absolutely nothing. The character of Oconee County, the very thing that draws families here, will be bulldozed under in subdivisions stacked on top of subdivisions. Again, this is bigger than zoning. It's about whether Oconee controls its future or whether outside money does. The choice for me is clear. And council, I believe, has the backing of citizens. We know growth must be smart, measured, and respectful of our infrastructure and way of life. We have an infrastructure problem. There is no question that we have an infrastructure problem. It's only going to get worse. We've got more people coming in, and something has to be taken care of it. So let this letter here be a rallying cry. Oconee future belongs to Oconee, not to the developers of Chapin or Pittsburgh or anywhere else. I love where I live. I love Oconee. I was born and raised here. I love my hometown, Seneca. I'd do anything in the world for it. But enough is enough. This stuff right here has to stop, and it's got to stop today. So that's why I'm wholeheartedly agree. I think everybody on county council is standing up. I know that Don is. This 5,200, and it blows my mind. It really does. I just thought we were going to get a break. I knew at some point this was going to come down again. I just wasn't expected to happen, today, of all things, the first day of fall. And then, I have been following the story all weekend with the 4-year-old. And it's evil. We have evil. Right here in little old Oconee County, we have evil. And it's not getting better. It's getting worse. And I don't know what more to say except, say a prayer and hope that it gets better. But I'm soon to be 50 January the 9th, and I swear to God, I've never seen anything like this. It just seems like every day there's something new, something happens going on. And I didn't get on here to depress you. I just want you to know the facts that we're facing here. And that's huge to me. I love where we live. I love our county. I'm concerned, and I think a lot of us are concerned. But 5,200 homes down in Neary, of all places, this can't happen. This is not responsible by no stretch of the imaginations, but yet to be stronghold armed by the developer. I mean, just what can you say? He comes across as like a set of kahunas like no one's ever seen. But just to sit here and threat and try to smear a media and a public campaign, you all know what's going to happen. Go get them. And again, this isn't about property. This has nothing to do with property rights. This is beyond property rights. This is destroying everything in the county over here. So I wanted to share that with you. And Tony, I agree with you. All we can do is completely pray. And that's all I can do. It's just, I've had this built up, and then today this all triggered it. I just, for 35 years, I have been telling the story of Oconee. I've wrote news story after news story. I've been a broadcaster. I've been here. I grew up here. And I guess the problem that I have about all of this is that with the situation with the child abuse is that we actually had a trooper. That's what bothers me most, that we had a state trooper that's supposed to protect and serve. And it didn't happen. And a 4-year-old kid lost his life. And I know that, the whole thing and will come out and whatever has to happen, but just, I don't know. I wished I could answer it. It just seems like it's evil and it's just getting worse and worse. Brenda, I agree with you. These people are full of greed, and yes, enough is enough. And I've said that before. Enough is enough. And that's why I think this time that it's great to the chairman, and I've seen John Elliott have some comments. I know Don, how he feels about certain things. Don and I agree on a lot of things here, and I know Don is this 5,200. We knew it was coming. I knew it sooner or later that there would be another development that would try it. And again, folks, I hate to say it, but there's going to be that one development that's going to slip right through. And see, we're not talking about, this is a total different one than the one just up the road from 130. So this is another development. This is another property. Basically, to tell you where the exact location of this property is, if you go down to Neary and you go to the renovated mill, the mills down there that they did, and you walk around back to where the Little River Dam is at, and you look across, it's all that property that's across from the mill. That's where we're talking. The other development that was on the table is on up the road about half a mile. Cross 130, before you get to the second dike there on 130, that's the second development. So you've already got two developments. One, I don't think nothing's happened with. We haven't heard any more. But this one here, this one just came up. I mean, they've been started since about August, trying to put this together, and it seems like to me they wanted a media campaign. They got it, because I'm going to tell them and no certain choices that I want to see this at all. All right, I hope that everybody has a great Monday. Happy fall, y'all. It is now, and it doesn't look like it's going to be fall for a couple more weeks. But I want to thank you for joining us here, and feel free if you want to share this video. It's available once we get done. But it seems like our county is we've got to protect our county, and I think a lot of the citizens agree with me. We've got to get a hold on everything, and this is a first step. Hey, look, I want somebody to come in that's going to invest in Oconee, but they got to do it by the rules. And if they don't do it by the rules, then this can't happen. But again, think of it this way: 5,200 homes, and if you put 2 people per home, that is a whole complete city. Matter of fact, that is bigger than the incorporated city limits of the city of Seneca, which is about 8,500 what the city inside the incorporated city limits. So you're talking an instant city in Oconee County. And you got to understand, too, you've got Neary here, and you're just that close to Clemson. So do you understand where I'm going with this? It's scary. It's going to happen. But, you've got to put the brakes on it. And again, my thought, thanks to Matt for passing this along, and I believe that he's going to stand up for what's right with this situation. It's not about property rights. This is going beyond property rights. This is a disaster waiting to happen. And again, let's talk infrastructure. Sewer, water, and power. And for the folks that live down around there, ask them how they feel about power. Because every time a storm comes up, the power goes off. And that's true. That happens down there. All right, have a good evening here on a Monday. I appreciate you joining me here. Feel free to share the video. If you got a message or a comment, you can shoot me a message on the inbox, and I'll do my best to answer it. But again, 5,200